Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the Joe Emilio Show. I'm your host, Joe Emilio, and in today's episode, we're going to talk about petrol price maybe going up even more in South Africa. We're going to talk about that. We're also going to talk about some other things, and later on, Kallie Kriel is joining me, ladies and gentlemen, from Afriforum. We're going to talk about why mainstream media hates Afriforum so much, as well as some of the cases that they are busy with, as well as the big news about the government that may be easing some of the regulations of the regulations that we currently have in South Africa. So, ladies and gentlemen, stick around. All that and a lot more coming up. All that and a lot more coming up. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome. It's good to have you. I have to do something very quick. I just want to see something. It's going to take 2 seconds. All right, never mind. I just wanted to see something. Cool. All right. So, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Joe Emilio Show. Sorry for the technical hiccup there at the beginning. We will hopefully sort that out for the next episode, ladies and gentlemen. It's been a while, man. It's been a long weekend. I hope you guys had a fantastic long weekend. Mine was pretty awesome, to say the least. And now we're back. Unfortunately, I couldn't have a show last night. Load shedding is back, so yay. Luckily tonight, load shedding is not a problem. I had load shedding earlier before the show, so that's all sorted. Speaking of which, ladies and gentlemen, about the show, please, link in the description. Go check out the new video that's just been released earlier today. That's weird. Weird things are happening now. Don't know why. Where is it? Sorry. Okay. Okay. That is my fault. The video wasn't released, guys. Oh my word. Finding this out on live now. Okay. So what I'm going to do is, this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to release it. But I'm going to release it for later on tonight. Probably. Oh my word, that's so embarrassing. Because I've told so many people that it's ready. Okay, so it's 7 o'clock now. We'll release it for 8 o'clock. Oh my word, that's terrible. Get your shit together, Joe. Damn it. Okay, live on air, ladies and gentlemen. Okay. Doesn't matter. You can still at 8 p.m. Check out the upcoming video. Very exciting news, ladies and gentlemen. This one right here. What just happened? Okay. This one right here. Massive loss for ANC. You're going to want to go check it out. You're going to want to hear the news, ladies and gentlemen. We're actually going to talk with Kallie Kriel about some of the news that is in this video. And yeah, it's going to be awesome. So basically, just as a little teaser, I can tell you that the government is thinking of basically getting rid of the regulations, the remaining regulations, which is wearing the mask, social distancing, not that anyone's doing that, and capacity on venues. Big announcement happened earlier today. I mean, like, if you're interested, we'll go through it. Just let me know in the live chats. I mean, like, why not go through it? I mean, it's kind of a big deal. But anyway, 8 o'clock, link in the description. Check out that video. Share it far and wide. I got some other news to go through with you guys just now. But yeah, I'm getting some comments coming through today. Joe, I need an electric blanket for my hole. Can I take the one from the spare? I don't have an electric blanket, my friend. 'Cause I don't need one. Anyway, I don't know why I sang that. But yeah, let's see if I can set this up quickly, because it would be cool to try and do this. To try and show you guys the letter that was released earlier today about about the news, man. It's like, it's so interesting. Well, actually, it's good news, ladies and gentlemen. It is good news, man. You know, you're gone for just a few days, Joe, and everything is just dimakar. Kidding. Okay, here we go. Wow. I'm reading some interesting things on Twitter. Okay, cool. So, current GT government thinking is the country's biggest problem. Well, I'm using I don't know whose house you're in, my friend. Maybe you were kidnapped. I'm paraphrasing heavily. But yeah. All right. So let's just see if I can if this works. There we go. Look at that. Okay. So I'm gonna go through this in just a moment. We'll get to that. I just wanted to make sure that it works, which it does. So that's great. Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, Kallie Kriel joining me later on from Afriforum. We're going to talk about this announcement. We're going to talk about a lot of things. It's going to be interesting. It's going to be fantastic. It's going to be cool. Jules Johnson is saying hello, or hey, Joe. Hello, Jules. Thank you so much for tuning in. Also, ladies and gentlemen, do not forget that my fight against cancel culture is still happening. So please donate while you still can. $60 per person would really go a long way. If 500 people give $60, I've reached my goal. Some people have been donating. Thank you so much for donating. 46% of the way there. Links in the description, ladies and gentlemen. Please help. I need this before August. We need to reach the goal before August. So please help where you can. It will be greatly appreciated. Just want to mention that. I have to mention it sometimes, or pretty much every time I stream now. And then I don't know what news to go with first. Should I go with the petrol price news or the regulations news? I think petrol price. Let's go with the petrol price. Okay, so I saw this tweet like not too long ago. Okay, it was released today. Okay, so here's a tweet. Wednesday, 6th of July, 2022, petrol price will increase with 2.03, meaning 1 liter of 95 petrol unleaded will cost 26.20 rand per liter, and an expected price increase of 3 rand 80 cents for Wednesday, 3 August 2022. That will bring us to exactly 30 rand per liter. New Fallen Dawn. Someone in the comment section actually asked, like, do you have evidence for this figures you're reporting on? And he shared a link, and obviously some of the comments funny. And he shared a link, and I went to that link. This is the link. It's not worth driving into the office anymore with another petrol hike, South Africa's workers say. So Business Tech did a poll. They asked people, if there's another petrol hike increase. Here it is. With another steep petrol price increase forecast for July, can you still afford to travel into work? 3,000, just over 3,000 said no. Another petrol price hike will be unaffordable. 1,200 said I'm unsure. Cuts will have to be made somewhere else. and then some other people, 800, said, yes, things are tight, but I'm managing at the moment. A total of 5,400 votes. Yeah, this is a problem. Like, I mean, this is a huge, huge problem, right? Like, this is a problem you don't want to have. Ladies and gentlemen. Okay, so current full price increase forecasts show another 2 rand a liter hike in petrol price in July to the 26 rand a liter, right? So that's going to bring it to 28 rand, right? The highest petrol prices South Africa has ever experienced. Oh, wait, 226, sorry. So in July, it's going to be 26.18. Am I reading that right? Current fuel price increases forecast show another 2 rand hike in the petrol price in July to 26. Diesel still fine, sort of 24 rand. I mean, it's still quite high. Then the rising blah blah blah. Okay, so South African motorists need to prepare themselves for yet another sizable fuel price hike in July, with the latest daily snapshot of fluctuating prices from Central Energy Fund pointing to a hike of as much as 2 rand per liter for petrol. Ouch. Data shows a snapshot, though, shows at petrol price increase by as much as 1.98 cents liter next month, while diesel is showing to undercover by 1.45. July, despite the government's fuel, July, in August, this will reduce 75 cents per liter, as the other 75 cents is added back. I don't know what that means. Richard, you didn't miss Kallie. Kallie is joining me at 8 o'clock. So, ladies and gentlemen, for those of you who might be watching for the first time, I usually do these shows. I have a 2-hour show. 7 to 8 p.m. is with me. 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. is usually my guests. So you can chill with me, or you can tune back at 8 o'clock when my guest joins. It's up to you. Either way, thank you for watching. And don't forget to subscribe. So, so in August, I don't know, this doesn't make sense. Anyway, so basically petrol prices going up again, guys. Richard or Richard, don't listen to Kermit. Don't listen to Kermit. Leave me in the comments. So yeah, guys, another petrol price increase. I mean, look, I'm one of the lucky ones, I guess, that work from home. But still, every time petrol goes up, everything goes up. Food goes up. Deliveries go up. Everything goes up. So, I mean, I'm seriously considering like buying a barrel of petrol and just holding on to it and selling it. Where it's like, I don't know. Maybe that's a stupid idea. But yeah, I thought I would just share that with you guys, what to expect. Because, I mean, I can't believe June's already almost finished. So, like, the month is almost up. So yeah, July is just around the corner, guys. Next week, at the end of next week, will be pretty much the 1st of July. July is here. So, yeah, it's pretty intense. Matthew asking, how was your long weekend? It was great, man. I went with family, spent time with family, had a great Father's Day, made another potjie, which was better than the first time I made the potjie. So that was cool. And yeah, it was a great long weekend. Good. So yeah. I don't know what that is. If it's rude, I'm not gonna put the answer up. People must just read in the live chats. But anyway, yeah. So let's see here, very quickly. Let me get this up because I know some of y'all are gonna want to know what's going on. Let's see. Cool. So, ladies and gentlemen, big announcement video. I did a video with Rob Hutchinson again about this. He talks about it in a lot more detail, but I thought, hey, let me show you what's going on because it's kind of a big deal. So, this is not fake. This is not this is real. Okay, it's been verified. It's been shared on social media, reliable sources, the whole shebang. So, repeal of regulations on the critical control measures to contain the spread of, you know what? As you recall, blah, blah, blah. I'm not going to go through the entire thing, but basically what they said is that there was like an intermediate regulation thing where they had wearing the mask and gatherings and travel requirements, blah, blah, blah. And that at the time of when they put those regulations forward, there was this amount of people that were infected, blah, 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 blah. Variant this, variant that. Okay. The important part really here is the second page, sorry. So that they've been monitoring, blah, 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 blah. Then that they've noticed that there's a decline in reported cases, decline in hospitalizations, blah, 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 blah. Based on the above, the National Department of Health consulted the NCCC this morning, the 20th of June 2022, so this was yesterday, and proposed the following. Mask wearing no longer needs to be in place at the present moment. Gatherings no longer needs to be, Regulation 16B on gatherings no longer needs to be in place at the present moment, and Regulation 16C entry limitations no longer need to be in place at the present moment, ladies and gentlemen. Recommendations will be discussed by the Cabinet in the next 48 to 72 hours. Boom! They are going to lift the regulations, ladies and gentlemen. This is what's going to happen. And I'm saying this because of my chat with Rob. Okay? And I'm going to chat to Kallie Kriel about this. I'm sure he has some information on this because it was DRSA and Afriforum that were fighting this case. They still are fighting. Ladies and gentlemen, you must go and watch my discussion with Rob. It is linked in the description. It's going to air at 8 p.m. There's a lot more detail. I'm just reading the letter, right? But there is a lot more information that Rob speaks about. He speaks about how this is a win, that half of the battle has been won, but the war is still not over. DRSA is not going to stop going to court. They are going to court at the end of July to make sure that the ANC is kept in check, basically, and cannot just willy-nilly bring back these regulations. So there's still a fight that is ongoing. You can still comment, by the way, on these health regulations and the regulations. The DRSA still wants your comments if you haven't commented yet. So please check out that video. It's very important, but it's a big, big, big deal. And hopefully this whole limited regulation thing will be over by the end of the week. By the beginning of July. I mean, that's what I'm suspecting. I'm suspecting by the 1st of July. This will be all. We won't have to wear masks anymore. It's going to be great, guys. It's going to be great. Hopefully that's going to happen. I might as well say it now. If touch wood, if regulations are lifted by the 1st of July, I am going to move the date of my one-man show because I'm going to have to revamp everything again because I get to have 80 people at the show. So this is going to change the price. It's going to change the capacity and the options that I can give. And therefore, in order to make sure that, there's enough time for people to buy tickets, I'm going to postpone it to September. But that's if the regulations are lifted before the show, hopefully in July. And also September might be a little bit better as well because it's getting out of winter, sort of. So yeah, and very much looking forward to that. And yeah, it'd be great if I could have 80 people at the show. That'd be fantastic. Really, 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 really looking forward to that. It would be amazing. So yeah. Kermit making actually a very valid point. No point in being allowed to go places if you can't afford the petrol to go there. Yeah, fair point. Fair point, man. Yeah, it's this petrol price situation, man. It's not good. It's really, really not good. The ramifications of this is going to be huge. But it's so weird because like with Rob, we were, I don't want to say debating, but like we kind of mentioned in passing that maybe the ANC is lifting these regulations for two reasons. One, they've given up, which I don't think is the reason. I think it's more of that they're trying to get votes, that they're trying to win people over, because now they're realizing like, shit, people actually don't like us now because we have these stupid rules. So let's, just, no one's listening, so let's just get rid of it. Let's try and turn it around, and say like, hey, look, we lifted the restrictions. We listened to you. We listened to you. Oh, South Africa. And they're trying to like do a whole PR thing around it and blah, blah, blah. Which is, and to some extent that might actually work. Like some people might actually fall for that and be like, oh my God, ANC, they listened. Meanwhile, that's not exactly what happened. So yeah, I think this is, I don't want to say a turning point, but it's something fishy is going on, with all this stuff around Cyril Ramaphosa and everything that's going on with that and his upcoming ANC elections. It makes me wonder, like, why now? Why now? Why June 2022, towards the end, have you decided now to kind of, lift your arms and be like, we'll let it go. I do think that pressure from mainstream media and pressure from the civil society, Afriforum and the other groups, and pressure from media has helped to sway the ANC to just give up on all this. But it's also like the ANC doesn't really do things unless it benefits them. So I'm also skeptical about why exactly are they doing it now? So close to elections, it just makes me wonder, like, what's up their sleeve? Because there is something up their sleeve. There always is. But only time will tell, ladies and gentlemen. Only time will tell. I do think that the ANC is going to be out of power come 2024. At least I hope so. And I'm sure a lot of other people hope so as well. But we will, only time will tell, ladies and gentlemen. So yeah, that's pretty much, here's hoping that, things turn around pretty soon. I think it's safe to say, ladies and gentlemen, that, things are going to be interesting in the next few months to, 2022. So yeah, in the next 2 years, I think things are going to be really, really interesting. Zach is in the house, ladies and gentlemen. Hello, Zach. Most people in rural areas vote ANC and they ignore the mask mandates. And yeah, so that's true. And that could be one of the reasons why the ANC is also like, you know what? Let's just forget about it, It's interesting. I don't know. Again, it's like, why now? Why now? That's my question. That's my thing about it. So, anyway, everyone's been talking about, this whole theft that happened at his farm. And I'm like, that's a huge distraction. That farm thing is a distraction. This regulations thing is a distraction. Something else is happening. And only time will tell what is actually happening. While we're worried about petrol price and, all this other stuff, ANC robbing us blind. That's pretty much what's happening. And they'll get away with it too. That's just the sad reality of the situations. They will get away with it because no one's really going to keep them in check. And anyway, enough about that, ladies and gentlemen. Don't forget you can drop a question in the live chats. It is almost 7:30, which means there's just over 32 minutes until my guest joins me. I'll be joined by Kallie Kriel tonight, ladies and gentlemen, CEO of Afriforum. We're going to be talking about why does mainstream media hate Afriforum so much. We're also going to be talking about the Malema Vs Afriforum case. I want to get his take on it. We're going to get an update on the flag situation. And of course, we're going to talk about the announcement that I spoke about earlier, that basically the regulations might be lifted within this week. So yeah, it's going to be a very interesting conversation with Kallie Kriel. I hope you guys will stick around for that and enjoy that conversation with me. Also remember, ladies and gentlemen, if you don't have time to watch the full 2-hour show, don't worry. Within the week, I will release the Kallie Kriel portion of the show on its own, so that you can just watch that section on its own, which will be up probably by the end of the week or beginning of next week latest. So look out for that. Don't forget to subscribe. And remember, no Sasa chats tonight or for the foreseeable future. And, if you want to donate, if you want to give something to the channel, if you want to support the channel, go and support my fight against cancel culture. That would mean a lot more to me. Be greatly appreciated. Link is in the description. So yeah. Matthew saying, come on, Joe, cough up the money. We know you have it. I have no idea what you're talking about. I don't know. Oh wait, okay, I'm seeing now. Where's the Durban relief money? It hasn't reached the people. I need to look into that. But yeah, it hasn't reached the people. Update on... Yes, I'll ask him about that. Absolutely. I can definitely ask him about that. Helen is in the house, ladies and gentlemen. Helen, I've always wanted to ask you, is that profile pic you? Like, I'm just curious. And then, ladies and gentlemen, don't forget, in 30 minutes, my premiere begins with the new episode of Rob, with Rob Hutchinson from DRSA, where we discuss in more detail the announcement of the regulations that may be lifted by the end of next week, ladies and gentlemen, or by the beginning of July. I probably, maybe, Cyril will have another family meeting with us. I hope not. I hate it when he, when Cyril's, the mainstream, it's another family meeting. Cyril, you are not part of my family, okay? You never were and you never will be. You are not my surrogate father or father figure in any way, shape, or form. You're not even my president. And I say that as a South African. You are not my president. I didn't vote for you. I don't want to vote for you. I despise you, and I think you're the worst South African president that probably ever existed, because during your reign as president, South Africa is probably in the worst situation it's ever been, in terms of unemployment, in terms of job opportunities, in terms of economy, and in terms of, well, maybe not so much murder rate, but crime in general. It's bad. It's really, really bad. So, no, you are not my president, and I hate it when he calls it family meeting. I really, really do. Anyway, Annette Beckett saying, like, that's the thing. Like, if he cared so much about his family, he would do everything in his power to make sure that his family is safe, secure, and happy. But that's not the case. If anything, he is the worst father ever. So, yeah. Okay, it is you. Okay, cool. I was just curious. I've been talking to Hope SA Foundation. They say not a cent has been given. Maybe I should get them on the show. All right. I agree. All things distraction. Something happening behind the scenes. Maybe with EWC, NHI. No money for bankrupt municipalities. Inability to fix potholes. Yeah. No. Well, again, Cyril just doesn't care. Doesn't care. So yeah. Sorry, I'm just laughing at some of the jokes that are going on in the chats. Anyway. Yeah, man. South Africa. Look. Don't misunderstand. Don't misunderstand what I'm trying to say. Eh? I love this country. I really do. And I love the people that stay in this country. Really. I think there are some amazing, amazing people. South Africans are resilient and very, very strong people. And a lot of them are smart too. But it's just really sad. You know, like I said, I went away over the long weekend and got to see some of the beautiful places there are in South Africa. And it makes me very sad that the ANC is destroying such a beautiful country. And I get very angry when Cyril refers to his meetings as family meeting because, yeah, he's probably the worst family member ever. Do I look like someone you know? Sort of. That's why I was asking, but I know it's not who I'm thinking of. So, sure, yeah, if they can email me, that would be great. Make it happen. Let's talk. So, yeah. There's some weird conversation happening between Helen and Matthew about tummy handles. Matthew saying, do you have any tips to get these tummy handles? I got, like, dude, like, I know Helen's giving you pointers and saying, you know, eat loads of chocolate. I agree with that. Also, Burger King, take it from me, and Krispy Kreme. This show is not sponsored by either. But I'm just saying, he ain't my dad. Exactly, I agree with that. Matthew saying he loves chocolate. That's cool. Lindt chocolate, I think. Okay, well, that's a question for the people that are listening and in the chat, so why not? This portion of the show is talking about anything and everything, so just give me a list of your favorite chocolates, ladies and gentlemen. I'm not gonna lie, I can't resist a Lindt chocolate. I have cravings sometimes for like a Kit Kat or a Snickers bar or what's that other one? Sometimes I crave Twix. Okay, like sometimes I'll crave this. It's very rare. And M&Ms. Like sometimes, like I'll have an M&M like once every 6 months. But Lindt chocolate, like chocolate in general, I don't eat that much of, surprisingly. But Lindt chocolate, like if you give me a Lindt chocolate, I won't say no. Like That's just me. How's gym going? It's not. And I know it's bad. I know it's bad. I know it's bad. I need to get back into gym. I know this, and I've been saying it. But this is why I made it public that I'm going to gym, so you guys can keep me in check and make me feel bad. You're making me feel bad. That's good. I will get back into gym. At some point, at some point, what was I going to say? I lost my train of thought. What I was trying to say is, yes, at some point, I will share with you guys some big news. But for the time being, I want to keep it close to the chest. And it's been a bit of a distraction. A good distraction, but yeah, I need to get focused again, put it that way, and I will be back in the gym. I see some of you guys are dropping some names of chocolates, so we're going to go through that in a moment. Keep dropping the names. I want to know what some of you guys, what your favorite chocolate is. Why not? Yeah, I know, we have to exercise, I agree. Smarties chocolate bar. Really? I don't like Smarties. Like, Smarties always felt like the cheap knockoff of M&M's. Like, that's just, I don't know. I could never ever eat a Smarties chocolate bar. And or even the Smarties chocolate ones that look like M&M's. I'm probably gonna get a lot of flack for this in the comments, but I hate M&M's or Smarties with popcorn. Like, I don't understand that craze. I don't understand why people do it. I've tried it. It doesn't. No. Why would you do that? Tempo chocolate bar, but they don't make them anymore. I thought I saw one in the shops. Did not make them. Okay. They're all right. They're not like the best. Bar One, 5-star, my favorite. Bar One is a good chocolate bar. Very rich. Very rich. Who's Jim? I don't know. Is it written somewhere on my screen? Where's Jim? So yeah. Lindt dark chocolate with coffee. Chocolate chip cookies. Oh, my word. Chocolate chip cookies. Oh. Yes. Especially when they're soft. Not raw. Soft. Because sometimes chocolate chip cookies, they come out really hard. I like the soft to the touch. You know, they're cooked, they're proper, but they're just soft in the middle. Those are the best chocolate chip cookies. Oh my word. I wish I could make them. I've tried. Every time I try and make chocolate chip cookies, it just comes out too hard. Most of us need to refocus. Hello, Julie. Thank you for joining on YouTube, man. You usually watch on Facebook. But yeah, I'm no longer streaming to Facebook. So thank you so much for tuning in on YouTube. Greatly appreciated. So, yes. Yeah, we all need to refocus. I gotta say that. But yeah, I will get there. There's a lot happening this week. And hopefully when things calm down a little bit, maybe next week I'll start going. Okay, I get it now. I think Smarties, I don't care who came before who. All I know is I don't like it. TV bar sucks. I don't think I've had it. Okay, well, that's a question. Worst chocolate ever. All right? Worst chocolate ever. Let me know. Drop it in the comment section. Come on, let me know. Worst chocolates ever, in your opinion. I'm trying to think of mine. What's a chocolate that I cannot stand? I mean, like, I don't like Smarties. I really don't like Smarties. But I know there's other chocolates that I probably don't like more than Smarties. So yeah. Sarah from Hope SA Foundation will contact you. Thank you, Zach. That'd be great. Chocolate muffins. That sounds good too. Flake is nice. It's alright. It's not my favorite. Like, it's alright. Oh, wait, that reminds me. Okay, Aero. I think it's Aero chocolate. Okay. Any chocolate that has mint in it, I hate. I don't like the mint and chocolate taste. I hate it. The ice cream, whether it's ice cream, whether it's a chocolate bar, Aero bar, I don't care. The mint and chocolate, I can't stand. I just can't. Gavin, what's your favorite chocolate bar and what's your least favorite chocolate bar or chocolate? You know, brand or whatever you want to call it. So yeah. I don't think there is. Have you ever tried sugar-free chocolate? That's really bad. There are some sugar-free chocolates that actually taste really good, but there are some that are just, Fast forward made your mouth blue, and I like it. Okay, I can't remember. I seem to kind of remember the brand. I don't remember having it though. White chocolate sucks. White chocolate's okay. Like, I'd rather have a white chocolate than mint flavored chocolate or mint infused chocolate. Oh yes. Now I don't know which one's worse. Mint chocolate or fruit and nut chocolate. Well, okay. Fruit and nut, let's just be... Okay. I don't mind chocolate with nuts. Some of you are going to have fun with that one. I don't mind chocolate with a bit of, hazelnut or almonds. I love chocolate with almonds. Like that. That's nice. But with fruit... I don't know. Is Turkish Delight a chocolate though? I don't think I don't think it's a chocolate though. I mean, I know that Turkish Delight can have chocolate, but I don't think it is a chocolate. Best chocolate, Dane. What about Hershey's, man? Like, you're in the US, like, you get Hershey's. I miss Hershey's. Hershey's Kisses, Reese's Buttercup. What else? I can't remember. I don't know. There's probably so much more now, but we do get that in South Africa. Like, if you go to Spar and you go to their not their foreign section, but their overseas section or whatever, you'll see a lot of Three Musketeers, all that kind of stuff, nerds and stuff like that. But yeah, I miss sometimes I'll buy a Hershey's bar just to remember just to remember what it was like. But I don't know Dane. Mint is good. Favorite has to be Smart. No, Gavin, you've broken my... I just went on a rant about how mint is disgusting with chocolate. And or Smarties is also like one of the worst brands of chocolate. Sorry. Beacon brands, too sweet. Yeah, they're the ones that make the marshmallow eggs, right? Favorite must be Bourneville. I don't know. Worst is anything white. I'm not going to comment on that. Fast Forward had the coolest adverts. What's that one? Lunch Bar. Obvious. I don't know. I like that ad because it works. You remember it. Like, the ad can be so stupid, but you remember that line. Obvious. And that to me makes a great ad. Rum and raisin. I'm not a fan of raisins. No. Yes, thank you, Zach. Thank you. Now, see, Zach and I, we're on the thing. Yo, Kermit really doesn't like white chocolate. Chocolate log, also very nice. Never heard of it. Raffaello, okay. That sounds familiar. Rolos, okay. Flake chalks, okay. Good for stoners. So I don't eat chocolate to be healthy. I don't have anything. No. I don't have anything against white chocolate. Okay, that's all Kermit. Kermit is the one that's got something against white chocolate. What about the Chomp ads? I vaguely remember those. But I'm waiting on Zach to get back to me on, like, Reese's Buttercup and Hershey's, man. Hershey, like, if you guys, next time you're at a Spar, okay, try and look for not all Spar branches have them, some do, and you can find their overseas brands and try Hershey's Bar or Hershey's Kisses and Reese's Buttercup. Oh, so good. Yeah, I agree with that. Yes, and book for my one-man show. Thank you so very much. But bear in mind that the dates might change. I actually just got a message from the venue owner. He's gonna double check to see if those dates that I'm gonna postpone to might be available, and that's only if the regulations are lifted by the beginning of July. Why you throw me? I'm not. You publicly stated this. This is throwing under the bus. This is all public, dude. Stuff overseas is just so sweet. Really? And it melts way too quickly. Really? I didn't know. Didn't know that. Tastes normal to me. But yeah. Wait. What? Zach is what? So Lindt dark chili chocolate with ice water. I'm just trying to understand what is going on. In Lindt dark chili chocolate, which I don't think I've tried it, and I'm not going to because I don't like chili. But I can imagine that would taste pretty cool. Ice water. I'm trying to understand why you're putting ice water with chocolate. Like, even if it just said Lindt dark chocolate with ice water, I'd still be confused. What is going on? Don't you normally put, like, I'd understand if you put Lindt dark chocolate in boiling water and made like a hot cocoa out of it. That would make a lot of sense. Now I want hot chocolate. But I mean, to put it with ice water? I don't know, man. Caramello bars are nice. Those are also, you're right, those are nice. Some of those Lindt chocolates aren't too nice. Yeah, I tried the strawberry one. I wasn't a fan. I was not a fan. The fruit, again, the fruit and chocolate. It was like, so Kermit might really not like this. Kermit, I tried a Lindt chocolate, okay, that was strawberry, white chocolate. White chocolate strawberry, basically. They called it white cream and strawberry. I wouldn't say it's the worst chocolate I've ever had. It was still okay, and I can see how people might like it, but it wasn't for me. Was not for me. Heat with cold. Yeah, but I mean, does it really work though? I mean, like, I understand that you have chili. I don't know. I guess it's just something I'm gonna have to try one day. She likes living on the edge. It's a thing. I've never heard of it, man. I've never ever heard of it. So my wife likes Lindt. She likes hot food, chili stuff. And I don't know how she'll feel about the ice water, but I mean, like, how many do you put, like, in a glass? How many do you put? Like, okay, so do you fill up the glass full of ice, and then you add water, and then you add like 3 chili dark chocolate Lindt balls, or what? Like, what's the recipe here? Love chilies, but not in my chocolate. Ring sting. I want to try it. I need a recipe. I'm like very curious. I don't know if she'll go for it though. Like, I'm gonna speak to her about it and be like, does this recipe sound like something you would try? I can't remember if she likes dark chocolate though, but I'll ask her. I can't. It just doesn't fathom. Clearly not in the mood for chit chat. Still love you, Joe. No worries. If you can't or don't want to hang around, that's no worries. I'll see you later. But don't forget, Kallie Kriel is joining me in 8 minutes. Kallie Kriel will be joining in 8 minutes. So, this is just the first hour of the show. It's just a bit of chit chat with the fans, and that's about it. Okay, so you eat a piece, let it sit for a second, then drink the ice water. Okay. See, like, I had a vision of a cup of water with ice and little balls of Lindt, like, floating in the water. Your way makes a lot more sense. Man, that's funny. I would never ever do that, ever. Like, I think Matthew wants me to die. That's what that is. I'm not an idiot, Matthew. Cool. So pretty soon, Kallie Kriel will be joining me. It's going to be a lot of fun. When my wife talks to her friends about it, it's like God spoke to them. Really? What is the appeal, though? Like, oh my word, this is so... I don't know. I'll speak to my wife. I don't even know if we have chili dark chocolate Lindt in South Africa, but I'm going to try and look for it. There's a Lindt shop in a mall near me, so I'll go to that Lindt shop. They have everything Lindt, so I'll go there. I'll ask them. I don't know. It just sounds wrong. So yeah. I think I'd rather try catnip. That's funny. All right. Well, now that we know how to eat it, and now that we know how to make it, the concoction that Zach was talking about, I'm gonna try it and see. I don't know when I'll try it. I don't know if we'll try it, but we'll see. Anyway, it's not like catnip. I don't think so. I don't know. Okay. Anyway, ladies and gentlemen. Okay. Whoa. You tried it and you don't like it. Okay, now that's interesting. That's very interesting. Yes, there is, and that's the exact one I'm talking about. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe one day you can tell us about your experience. But anyway, ladies and gentlemen, just a quick reminder before my guest joins once again to please donate to my Cancel Culture Fund, where I am fighting against cancel culture. All the information that you need to know is on this Quicket page. The link is in the description. You can just watch these videos and you'll be up to date. And if you want to support me, please donate 60 Rand. This is all you need to donate. If I can get 500 people to donate 60 Rand, we have reached the goal, ladies and gentlemen. So please consider donating. Don't give us to Sasa Chat, rather give to the fund. So yeah. Let's see. guess Joe will be going to Lynchop in the near future. Well, I mean, I'm curious, but I'm first gonna like ask if my wife wants to try it. If she doesn't, then no, I won't be going. But it'll be interesting. It'll be interesting to see what happens. By the way, am I loud? Because I was doing a recording earlier and I felt like my mic was loud. So I just want to tune it down a bit. Boop! Okay, that was loud. But yeah, hopefully that sounds better. But yeah. It's Fury gave a super sticker. Thank you so much for the super sticker. 6.99. 6 Rand 99. Thank you so much for the Sasa chat, ladies and gentlemen. Or thank you so much for the Sasa chat or Sasa sticker in this case. It's greatly appreciated. Okay, my guest, ladies and gentlemen, is in the green room. He is waiting, so we're gonna go on a short break, ladies and gentlemen. Just gonna set up everything. I'll be back with Kallie Kriel from Afriforum. We'll be talking about Afriforum, why mainstream media hates Afriforum so much. We'll also be talking about the Malema Vs Afriforum case, as well as the flag case and the gun case that is going on. And we'll be talking about the regulations, ladies and gentlemen, that might be lifted in the next few weeks, days, hopefully. We'll see. So don't go anywhere, ladies and gentlemen. We will probably be back in less than 5 minutes. So don't go anywhere. We'll see you just now. Well, ladies and gentlemen, it's break time. Don't go anywhere. I want to share some announcements. Firstly, as you saw, I have a one-man show stand-up comedy special happening on the 30th of July of this year. Please book your tickets as soon as possible. There is limited seating. There's only 40 tickets available. Tickets also include a meal. Oh, and the show is directed by the legend Barry Hilton. Avoid disappointment and book your tickets now. Just follow the link in the description, ladies and gentlemen, where you will find all the information. And secondly, please consider becoming a member to this channel. It goes a long way to supporting me and the channel. And for as little as $60, you can become a member to this channel and get exclusive perks. Just check out the join button below for all the details. And if you don't want to become a member, that's absolutely fine. Don't forget that you can also donate by giving a super chat, or Sasa chats as we call them on this channel, or you can use super thanks to also donate to this channel. All donations are greatly appreciated. With that being said, ladies and gentlemen, for those of you that are just tuning in, don't go anywhere. This is just a short break. The show will be starting again shortly, so enjoy the rest of the show. Oh, and don't forget to subscribe if you haven't yet already. Thanks. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the show. I told you it was going to be less than 5 minutes. And I am here with Kallie Kriel, the legend from Afriforum. Kallie, how are you doing?
Right, so it's a great speaking to you. And the legend is probably not the right word to describe it.
Yeah, I like to give some epic introductions to my guests.
I could have had my daughters here so they could hear what you're saying.
Okay. Well, I hope they will continue to call you legend now. But we'll see. All right, Kallie. So I am honored to have you onto the show. I've been looking forward to this conversation. And I think I want to start the conversation off with, maybe just in case there are people who don't know who you are, but I'm pretty sure people know. But just in case, in like 2 minutes or less, just explain what is it you do at Afriforum, and yeah, who Kallie Kriel actually is.
Yes, well, I'm CEO of Afriforum. I have been for 16 years. We were formed in 2006. So I was fortunate to be part of the whole process um, when we had 0 members, only 3 staff members, and going through this journey to where we are now with 192 staff members, with 302,000 members, and 10,000 volunteers, 165 neighborhood watches. So I'm quite happy with how the process went.
No, fantastic. Just very quickly, I'm noticing some audio issues.
Yeah,
Do you have a mic?
no, don't. But I have a sound feedback.
Yeah.
Um,
Wait.
does it sound better?
Yeah. That now it sounds better. Okay. Let's.
Okay.
Yeah, that's much better. Okay, cool. Let's.
Let's hope for the best.
Now it's much better. Yes, there we go. Okay, fantastic.
Okay.
All right, Kallie. So you've been there pretty much since the beginning of Afriforum, correct?
Yes, yes. No, I'm. As I've said, it was Alana Bailey. She's also still with us, but we are actually the 2 old people in the organization nowadays. We are fortunate that from the beginning we started to get in young talent, and the young talent brings energy to the organization. It brings new ideas. Because what we're doing is not something that there's another organization like that we can learn from in the country. So it's nice to have young people to come with those fresh ideas. And I think that's part of our success.
Fantastic. And one of the things I wanted to chat to you about with everyone, because I've had Ernst Ritz on the show a few times already, and him and I discussed this hatred that the mainstream media seems to have against Afriforum. Don't know why, but I wanted to chat to you and get your take on it because you've been here or you've been with Afriforum since the beginning. Was the mainstream media also vicious against you guys back then, or has this been something that's developed over time for some reason?
Well, the more successful we got, the more aggressive they got towards us. But of course, that is not something we have sleepless nights over because if you listen to or take recognition of something that Winston Churchill said, he said, "Don't confuse published opinion with public opinion." And that is what we experience every day. If we look at people from all communities that come to Afriforum in large numbers to assist them, the most well-known case is the Mehiwa family that came to us, but probably 95% of people that come to Garinel's office and ask for support are not Afrikaners and are people that have confidence in the organization. So on a grassroots level, we've experienced never ever, not even once, experienced any animosity towards Afriforum. We have good cooperation with vast, vast number of cultural communities. But what I think is, it seems to be something that naturally happens, not only here, but across the world, that people from the left are more inclined to go into journalism and they are overrepresented as journalists. But that does not mean that they are a mouthpiece for public opinion. But what we've also seen is, the normal people, the men and women on the street are not stupid. They can see when attacks are fair or unfair. And, Afriforum, we're not perfect. So, of course, sometimes there can be fair criticism. But what we've seen when commentators or journalists go overboard and they start giving unfair criticism, it's clear for everybody to see. And what actually then happens in the process when they think they weaken us, they actually strengthen us. And you get sympathy towards your organization if people that would not have supported you, but if they say, you know what, these people are being treated unfairly, and then the sympathy comes towards you. And just another example, for instance, the Cape Forum, you can imagine how many millions would have had to spend to get the organization known and on the public agenda. And you had all these vicious attacks from commentators and biased journalists. And I thought they were hitting us. But in the end, within 1 week, they made it a well-known organization that's on the public agenda. So to those journalists that hate us, keep going. It's a great job you're doing. You're actually making us stronger. So thank you for that.
Yes, a great way to speak to the trolls and the haters of Afriforum. And I couldn't agree more. Every time they try and hate on you, it seems to just, grow your popularity, because most people do their own research. I mean, that's what happened with me. When I first moved to South Africa, I was told Afriforum is a racist organization, and I didn't really do much research, and I trusted the information it was coming from. And then eventually I started to see, wait a second, Afriforum is actually doing good things. How is this a racist organization? And eventually I started, doing my own research, reading your websites, and following Ernest Roots. And then I'm like, no, there's nothing racist about them, really. They're just fighting for minorities and other groups in South Africa and doing good things, actually. I mean, you guys made a university not too long ago. I think it was last year, if I'm not mistaken, during lockdown. And something that the ANC is really upset about, but because you basically showed them, you see what happens when you use funds for good. So yeah, I think what Afriforum does is amazing work. And speaking of which I'll get back to the mainstream media topic in just a moment. But speaking about doing good work, I don't know if you know, I'm sure you do, but DRSA and Afriforum have been working together, taking the Minister of Health to court, or the ANC to court, over these health regulations. And today was released a letter stating that the health minister has decided, or whatever health department has decided, to think about removing the regulations that are still lingering, which is the mask mandates, the gathering, social distance, and cap on venues. Did you hear about this? Do you know about this?
Yes, but it's not something that just happened. The case would have started in court during the next week. And we know that we saw some of the documents that were written by the legal team from government. They actually sent it to our legal team by mistake. It wasn't supposed to be included. And what it said, well, first it was harsh towards Afriforum and DSA. It actually accused us as being terrorist organizations for taking on this issue. But the other part, it also showed that they don't have good legal arguments. So for the minister to do that now, and tomorrow the cabinet will take a decision, we wish that government would have moved this swiftly on many other issues. But of course, I think they know that they have trouble in court, and that's why they have to push it through before next week. But of course, we welcome that if they remove these regulations. But I think it's also important to say this is another example that shows why we need a strong civil society, that people and organizations that are able to go to court and have the resources to do so. Because if this court case wasn't taken on, you wouldn't have seen these steps this week by government. And, if you look at the ruling party's documents and the latest discussion document for the coming policy conference, I just read it last week. And you don't, if you've read these documents before, you can always say, what is the theme of chapter 1 going to be in those documents? And again, this year, it is the balance of forces. So you have a ruling party that uses culture, worldviews, like you have to look at the balance of forces. The balance of forces actually dictates to what you do. You have your agenda, or what they call the National Democratic Revolution, and they'll do what they can. But if they see the balance of forces are turning against them on a certain issue, they will back down. And that unfortunately means that if they have that kind of worldview, we can go in with good arguments. And of course, we always need to have good arguments. But you'll be naive to think that government will simply just say, you know what, I've read your arguments, it's actually beautiful, I'm going to listen to you. It never happens like that. If they work with balance of forces, you have to have some mechanism, either court cases or international pressure. And what unfortunately then happens now, it creates a system where you continuously have to fight. And, we're not strategically want to go into a conflict with government. It's only tactically because they don't listen to good arguments. And it's not as if we wake up every morning and say, what are we going to fight with government over today? It's more to say we try and influence and they ignore it, and then you're actually forced to take measures to put pressure on them.
No, absolutely. I do agree with that. And I was telling Rob Hutchinson, actually from TRSA earlier today, and the video that we pre-recorded is premiering. Well, it's just finished premiering now. But I did tell him that I think it's a combination of civil society groups such as yourself, DRSA, and Afriforum, and all the other groups that were involved, as well as a bit of the mainstream media and other medias pressuring the government in swaying or making decisions, showing that there is hope, and that people should get behind organizations like Afriforum, DRSA, and the lot to make sure that the government can't take advantage of its people. I think it's very important, and that's why this announcement, at least it was announced today for the public, is quite important. And I understand that you guys are not necessarily done with the court case. There's still court dates at the end of July. Can you tell us a little bit about that and on why you're still going to court?
Well, unfortunately, you're now asking the wrong person. One of the success stories of Afriforum is that on certain issues, if I don't know what the facts are, I just make sure that we appoint people that are very clever
Okay.
to the legal system. So unfortunately, I don't know specifically what the situation is there. When we have the decision by cabinet tomorrow, of course, then I will again consult with our legal team just to get our view on what is the way forward.
Okay, cool. Well, that's understandable. Obviously, you're a very busy man with other things. I wanted to ask you though, going back to the whole mainstream media hating on Afriforum. I've seen, because you mentioned Cape Forum. That's actually at the launch of Cape Forum. That's when you and I met. And like you said before Cape Forum, there was a lot of articles coming out, like a smear campaign, all mostly from News 24. It seems like, and I think this is like the biggest almost failure from the mainstream media point of view, is the Malema versus Afriforum case, a very, very important case that happened not too long ago about his chanting of kill the Boer, and how Mark Oppenheimer managed to actually get Malema to actually say he will not pledge that he will never ever call for the killing of white people, which was a monumental moment in that court case. And yet the mainstream media could focus on everything but that. I wanted to get your take on how you feel about that you guys pretty much exposed Malema in quite a big way, and yet mainstream media was still like, no, Afriforum is still the bad people.
Well, the fact is, and I must again congratulate Mark Oppenheimer on the way he conducted the court case. But just on a lighter note, I saw somebody saying on Twitter, now Afriforum has even got Jan van Riebeeck to be their advocate because of his long hair. But I think did well. But one must also remember, if we're going to garner international support, it doesn't really matter what News 24 whoever says. Those clips from Julius Malema, they are vital for us to garner international support against what is going wrong here. And, I remember 10, 15 years ago, before the Zuma years, we were still in the former President Nelson Mandela's time and the honeymoon after that. It was very hard to explain to the international community what was going wrong and to garner international support. But nowadays, you simply have to play those kind of video clips and you don't have to go through a long explanation. So I think that was important for us to get. But, especially the so-called white left, and I wrote an article with regard to that when they tried to make Afriforum the bad guys in this. And because the argument there was, Afriforum is giving Julius Malema a platform, it makes him stronger, he's going to get more support. And I said to the white left, unknowingly, they have and I don't want to accuse people of racism, but it smacks of racism. If you're going to say, well, if Malema speaks about violence, and you think the majority of black people are not now going to be prone to violence, then that is inherently racist. And from our point of view, we believe black people, such as colored people and white people and Indian people, can think for themselves, and the vast majority of them don't want a future where there's violence, where there's conflict. We all want a future for our children. And if Malema is going to use that kind of language, and you believe people can think for themselves, he's not going to mobilize the vast majority of people. And we've seen that election after election. They've come to a ceiling of 10%. So if you believe in that and you give Julius Malema a platform, it might be, and it is so, that he mobilizes the 10%. But what is also true is he alienates 90% of the people in the country from his ideas. And that is what the leftists don't seem to understand. They are scared. They think if Malema speaks, everybody is going to be up in arms and there's going to be huge conflict. And actually, the monster Malema was created in a sense that people fear. And we said, no, don't fear. Take a stand against him. They have not been able to, they speak loudly, but they were only able to break a few windows at H&M and Clicks. And make sure that they have a big mouth to get lots of publicity. But they're not powerful because the vast majority of people don't support the kind of views that they portray.
No, absolutely. And I agree with that wholeheartedly. It was a bit of a chuckle for me when I read that headline. I remember that headline saying that, you mustn't give Julius Malema a platform. And I'm like, this man, like every 6 months has his own platform with thousands of South Africans in front of him. And many news channels give him airtime. You don't want Afriforum now to give him air? Like, that made no sense. This guy's on TV once a month. Like, he doesn't need Afriforum for a platform. Like,
Yeah.
But anyway, yeah, no, everything about that case was phenomenal. I applaud Mark Oppenheimer. Had him on the show to chat a little bit. Well, what he could chat about, we chatted about. Um, but yeah, I believe judgment is still coming for that particular case. Correct?
Yes, we a few days ago it was the closing arguments.
Yes.
We are waiting judgment. Of course, one can never know; it's up to the judge. But we think Mark did a good job, and we are confident. So let's see what happens.
All right, cool. Well, definitely keep a close eye on that one. And then the other question that I actually had someone comment on it in the last stream with Ernst Rutz. I didn't get a chance to ask him about it. I know you just said that you're not heavily involved in the legal side of things, but someone else recently asked about it as well. So I'm gonna ask it. If you don't know, it's fine. But the gun case that's happening at the moment, I think also with Julius Malema
Yeah.
firing in public. Is there any updates you have? I haven't been following that one very closely, so I don't know where in the process
Yeah.
you are.
Yes, there has not been a judgment in that case,
Okay.
but the case has been going on for a while with postponements. But I think what is important in that case is that forensics expert was able to link the bullet shells that were found to the firearm that Adrian Snyman, who is the bodyguard of Julius Malema, has a license for. But it was also found that they tampered with the firearm because they changed certain parts with other firearms to try and get rid of the forensic evidence. So we are confident about that case. You must remember it was also a case that a complaint lodged by Afriforum. And again, in that case, there was no prosecution, and we had to put pressure on the NPA to prosecute, but at least in the end, it happened. And that is why we're quite happy with the fact that we have our own private prosecution unit with Gerry Nel and 10 other people, top people working for him, because the mere fact that we are able to privately prosecute puts pressure on the NPA in cases where they are reluctant to prosecute. If we say, okay, then we want to prosecute, then they don't like that, then they rather prosecute themselves. But in the end, we are happy that we then see prosecutions happening, such as what we are seeing with Julius Malema in the firearm case, also with the assault case, we assaulted a senior police officer. Again, we had to intervene in that case. But in the end, I think Julius Malema is not untouchable. Unfortunately, for very long, he started to think he was untouchable because there was a reluctance to prosecute him. But we are happy with these cases that we are coming closer to a situation where there will be a judgment against him. We know in the assault case, they tried to say there was not enough evidence, so that he did not even have to defend himself, but the judge found that there was a prima facie case against him. So we're also confident in that case that he will be held accountable. And this is not, Julius Malema says the Afriforum is targeting him. Well, we are targeting injustice and people transgressing the law. And if you're going to continuously do that, then of course Afriforum will be on your case.
Yes, 100%. I mean, it's funny that he says, "Oh, they're targeting me." Well, don't break the law. Like,
Yeah. Don't fire a firearm. Don't assault a police officer. Don't say kill farmers. Don't say you're not going to say that people should not be attacked. If you're going to behave in that way, you have to bear with the consequences that comes your way.
Exactly. Oh man. But one thing about Julius Malema, yes, he's a dangerous man, and I think he deserves the consequences coming to him. But he is somewhat entertaining, even though it's not in necessarily in the best of ways. But there's always drama that follows him, which is mostly bad though. Very dangerous man. But this also moves me on to the next question. A lot of people also want to know any updates with the flag case. I know that's been, I want to say, a thorn in Afriforum's side, because Ernst explained it to me that you guys took the case because you were kind of drawn in by the Nelson Mandela Foundation, who kind of accused you guys of something that you're not, and then you're like, oh well, now we have to be a part of this because Nelson Mandela Foundation is basically spreading rumors that you want to make clear is not true. And now people, mainstream media, having a field day saying Afriforum wants the old apartheid flag, is for the old apartheid flag, even though your organization on numerous occasions has said that you don't necessarily support it. You definitely don't allow it at your events, and so on and so forth. It's not hung up at Afriforum headquarters or anything like that. You actually don't like the flag, but it's more of a principle of freedom speech. Is there any other updates you can give us about the flag case?
Well, we will now have to wait for a judgment in that regard after the appeal court has heard the case. So we'll have to see what happens. But you know what? People should realize if you fight for freedom of speech, you're not going to get a popular topic to fight for freedom of speech, because if something is popular, there won't be any controversy about that. So in the case, this is controversial, but we had two choices. The one is just stand back and go into the kind of bannings that we've seen during the previous dispensation, or fight bannings. And what happened in this occasion, you just touched on it in the intro now, is that during the so-called Black Monday protests, none of the events that Afriforum organized were there any old South African flags. Well, I challenge anybody to look in the past 16 years at any of our events if there was any old South African flags. There was one I remember, but I said to the person, you want to discredit our event, so don't do that. So nobody can come forward with that. But, people like Nicholas Bauer then tweeted about these old flags that were flown. Later, he had to apologize because it was a 5-year-old photograph. But what the Nelson Mandela that the foundation did is they made us a respondent to banning this flag. And so we did not step into the fight. We were pulled in, but then we had to make a decision. Okay, we can either say, well, we're not going to oppose and abide, or we have to fight for freedom of speech. And if you're pulled into a fight, you can't just stand around, then you fight for the principle. But what is just important to people that don't support the old flag must just remember it's now the old flag. But if in future something that is dear to you, there are people that say it's hurtful and it should be banned, then it's going to go that route. Who's going to start deciding what is hurtful and what is not? 100 million people died under communist regimes in the world. Are you now going to ban the communist flag? Are you going to ban the ANC flag because people that died during the landmine attacks, whose family died, is hurt by that? Are you going to now ban the British flag in South Africa because of concentration camps or whatever? So this spiral of bannings is something that we don't need in the country. And You know, there's worldwide recognition for former President Nelson Mandela for his fight against the apartheid system. And some of the things he fought against were bannings. We know that the ANC was banned, ANC symbols were banned. And now you have somebody like Selu Atang that, under the name of the Nelson Mandela Foundation, now also drives banners. It's actually ludicrous. We don't need a censorship board, even if it goes under the banner of the Nelson Mandela Foundation. So we're fighting against censorship, and people can criticize us on that. But the fact that we actually even fight for their right to criticize us. You're a comedian, you know, if things that are hurtful are going to be banned, there's not a lot to be said in a stand-up comedy if you can't say things that are controversial. We're against hate speech, and I think people should just remember there's a difference between hurtful speech and hate speech. Hate speech is when you call for violence, like shoot the Boer, or if I wave an old flag and I say kill black people, or where you have a call to action, that is hate speech, and that we need to oppose strongly. But hurtful language, I don't want to be hurtful, but it's not because some law says so. It's simply good manners. You don't act in a hurtful way towards people. But if you're going to try and legislate that and ban hurtful behavior, then of course, who's going to decide what is hurtful? What is hurtful towards some is not hurtful towards others. So that's a situation we want to stop by taking part in this case.
Yeah, and I think it's not a bad position to have, especially because of the fact that you were roped into it. I mean, what are you gonna do? Like you're just minding your own business. Next thing you know, oh crap, okay, we're in this now. And I strongly encourage people to do their own research. I think a lot of people just read headlines and assume that the headline is true or they're reporting facts. And a lot of the times that isn't the case. And, going back to the main topic, which is mainstream media and their just ongoing onslaught on Afriforum, can you remember any article? There probably is an article somewhere where Afriforum was praised for something, anything.
Well, I think what we're seeing over the last few years is, in terms of the Afrikaans media, it's much more fair articles that are being written. Even when people disagree with us, it's fair criticism. They don't go overboard. But if I'm trying to remember where there was a positive article, yes, I remember there was in City Press, there was an in-depth article, but I'm speaking probably about 10 years ago, about Afriforum and about myself. And
Okay.
it was a great article, which was written by a black journalist. But then, of course, Adrian Basson in those days were at the same newspaper. So he then, the next week, had to try and make sure that this positive article is neutralized. So he then wrote a so-called open letter to me and again attacking Afriforum. And it was in the same time when in Walmanstal, the Walmanstal Communal Property Association, which was a group of rural people in the Walmanstal area that were successful with a land claim, black people that got land, and there were people that squatted on their land, and they came to Afriforum for support, and we won the court case for them. And they were positive. And, Adrian Basson then wrote in that article that Afriforum never does anything for black people. And I wrote an email to him to say, you wrote this, but come with me and let's go and visit the Communal Property Association in Balmanstal and you can speak to those people. Well, he never answered. Um, but of course,
Of course not.
no, I don't want to. I think what we should also not do is to become thin-skinned. If you're going into a boxing ring and you're going to throw some punches, you can't start crying if there are people that hit back.
Yeah.
And we are dead against a leftist wokeness socialist approach, and we are fighting that. So we can expect from the woke, from the left, from the socialists to attack back. So I'm not too worried about that. As I've said previously, unfair attacks strengthen us. What we must make sure is that we remain on the moral high ground. And when people attack us, there should be no truth in that. Because if we're going to make big mistakes, then we will be punished for that. But as long as these attacks are unfair, I think it strengthens us. So that's part of the life we live and what the civil rights organization is about.
Yes, and I'm sure Afriforum itself as a civil organization has evolved over time. Like some people will say that or try and tell me that the reason why people don't like Afriforum is because of some of their values that they hold. That some of the things you've said in the past is like that you will only defend minorities or Afrikaners or what have you. And I'm sure that's been misconstrued to a certain extent. But I'm sure as well. I've seen just in the past 2-3 years alone, Afriforum's evolved. It's grown. It's become bigger. It's helping many different people of all races across South Africa, changing communities. And I really hope that people will focus on what you've become, especially now, being the organization that you are. And this brings me on to Cape Forum, because I was surprised to hear that Cape Forum actually is not associated to Afriforum, even though it has a sister name to a certain extent. And we discussed this when we met at Cape Forum, that you guys are just helping, but
Yeah.
it's its own. Cape Forum is its own thing. Is that correct?
Yes, maybe I should just go back one step. It's not that AfriForum evolved in our worldviews. People can go and have a look at our Civil Rights Manifesto that's available on our website. That was written 16 years ago. And in that, we say clearly that we take on issues that are of importance to minorities and Afrikaners. But we also state quite clearly that we want to promote mutual recognition and respect amongst the various communities in the country, because we cannot isolate ourselves. We're part of a broader community. So that has been our view. But of course, when we started off, we had zero resources. So
Yeah.
we weren't able to help on a broad scale. We first had to establish the organization, but that was just some background. In terms of the Cape Forum, I myself, I'm one of the board members of the Cape Forum, but only one of 8. So it's not that AfriForum has a majority stake in the board, but we definitely say, we want to say, put the Cape's future in Cape hands. It means that I cannot from Pretoria dictate on what people in the Western Cape should do. But I can play a role to say, let's use the experience AfriForum has had over the last 16 years to build an organization. We also, in the process, developed financial systems. We developed databases. We developed systems and media strategies and all those kind of things. And we can make it to the we can make it we can give it to the disposal of the Cape Forum to make sure um, that they actually can get running much faster. But broadly, I think there's agreement between Afriforum and the Cape Forum then that both organizations are federalists that believes in the concept of federalism and uh, strong self-reliant communities. And that is a universal principle that we implement in many parts of the country, but I believe the Western Cape has a unique opportunity to take federalism a step further. And therefore, you cannot just have a few communities in the Western Cape supported. And the Cape Forum is an ideal vehicle to mobilize a variety of communities in the Western Cape towards a common ideal, and that is the devolution of power to the province, to the towns, to communities, because we believe communities knows best what is good for them. You cannot sit in Pretoria and decide who should get the fishing quota on the West Coast. Those people that have been fishing there for centuries, and those communities knows best. So the giving out of quotas, community policing, all these stuff should be taken on a federal system. There should be devolution of power.
Absolutely. Well, I think Western Cape is close to getting federalism. I mean, that's what the DA being the main party that controls it is striving for federalism. But there's also talk in the Western Cape about Cape secession, which has been quite a big topic on the political sphere. Where does AfriForum stand if it comes to Cape secession? Obviously, I think Cape Forum will be fine. It will continue to do what it does. But what about AfriForum? Like, how do you guys feel about that? Is it something you support, not support, indifferent?
We support growing federalism. And I think the mistake people can make is if you're going to run a 400-meter hurdle race and you focus your eyes on simply the finish line, you're going to fall over the first hurdle. So I think what is important at this stage, one should say, what is the common denominator from a variety of groups? Of course, there are people like Exit that wants complete independence. Then there are other people that just want a devolution of power. But our view is to say, let's start at the beginning. Let's look at what can be done easiest now. And the focus point for both AfriForum and the Cape Forum is to look at safety. Because we know there should be 25,000 police officers in the Western Cape. The Beki Ministry and the Department of Police, they've only filled, only 20,000 of those positions are filled. So there are 5,000 vacancies in a province where you have gang violence that seriously needs to be addressed. And you have to then see the provincial government together with the city of Cape Town now going for the so-called LEAP officers, which are funded by the province and the city, but it costs them 1 billion a year, and they don't get extra tax money for that. So those are kind of bread and butter issues that we should focus on now, is to say we should get policing, put it into the hands of the Western Cape, but together with that to say we are for tax federalism, which means that the taxes that people in the Western Cape pay, the policing part of that should go directly to either the municipality or the province, or should be spread there to look after safety. So from Afriforum side, we would rather now have a bread and butter approach, take on the issues, and then have growing federalism. And what you've seen in the world, if you take, for instance, other examples, let's take South Tyrol in Italy. South Tyrol was part of Austria, but after the First World War, to punish Austria, it was given to Italy. And it's a German-speaking community in the north of Italy. And they started driving a process for secession. But in the end, they now came to a position where 90% of the tax money goes back to South Tyrol that are paid by people in that province. And now there's not really large-scale support for secession anymore because strong federalist measures was good enough. So if you have a cooperation from the ANC government to give federal powers, I don't think it will go to secession. We get to a situation where people want secession if there's a non-cooperative national government, such as we're seeing in, for instance, Spain, where people that are driving secession are being arrested. And what they're doing in the process, they're simply strengthening the drive for secession. So in the end, we believe growing federalism can go a long way. But if there's a national government that is against this, it will only enhance the views for secession. So I think in the end, the national government, what is going to happen is in their hands. If they work together, federalism would be good enough.
Yeah, I do think the national government will pretty much decide the fate of Cape secession and its possibility. But it'll be interesting to see where the ANC lands after 2024 elections, which is not too far away. Some people saying that there might be a coalition government in come 2024. I don't know. We'll see what happens. I hope that the ANC will no longer be in power. But then, if the ANC is no longer in power, do you think that Afriforum may no longer have a job?
Yeah, that that would be great. It would be the best thing ever if we could lock the door and put off the lights and say, we now live in utopia. But the chances of that happening is unfortunately not good.
Yeah.
But there will always also be a need, Afriforum's existence, of course, when government fails, there's a need for us to act as a watchdog. But that's probably only 20% of what we're about. 80%, if we say the slogan we use is fight and build. So we fight against corruption, we fight against bad government and all those things. But the build part is actually the part that is much more prominent in terms of where we spend our resources. It's not necessarily national news if you fix thousands of potholes around the country. It's news if you take on Malema. We don't complain about that, but so what we are also saying is we're not going to wait for the 2024 election. We're not working for a next election, we're working for a next generation. So what we need to do is to make sure that we have our programs. Of course, it's important what happens in election politics. But from our side, we focus on those areas where we can have a direct influence. We're not going to be able to influence who's going to follow after Cyril Ramaphosa, if it's going to be Didi Mabuza or whoever. So you need to take cognizance of those things that can go wrong. But you should spend your time on what can you do. So if we say federalism, it's not simply also then to say, we need now to wait for the ANC or anybody else to grant it to us. We can create realities on ground level. You can have de facto and de jure federalism. Um, De jure is, of course, when it's given recognition, but de facto is you just create realities. So we don't have to wait for the ANC to say, please, we should have devolution of power in terms of policing, and then sit back and wait for them to have a good decision. We can, within the framework of the law, now set up neighborhood watches and mobilize communities to make sure that they are safe. We can say, to look at the schooling system where there's a deterioration by government, we can say what are alternatives that we can do ourselves. And it's not something weird. It's actually something that has happened already. When we had the deterioration of the public health system, it was not the Afriforum that came with some kind of political plan to say, let's privatize. You had big groupings coming in and setting up private hospitals. That is also a kind of federalism, taking control within the community. And many people saying, well, Afriforum or a solidarity movement, we're building a state within a state. I always ask them, do you have a medical fund? And then, of course, you're busy with not using the government's medical system. There's an alternative. Do you have a private security company patrolling in your area? Then that's something you're not making use of the police. So it has happened on a large variety of areas, and that is something we need to build on. To say we need to build strong, self-reliant communities that can start taking control of their own future. And you know how great that is if you take that decision. Because if you see your future in the hands of an ANC government, one will get depressed and you will start drinking quite a lot or something will go wrong, because that would be terrible. But if you take that decision to say, you know what, we're not going to be dependent on government, we're going to mobilize the powers within our communities to take our future into our own hands, well, then one becomes positive despite what is going wrong in the country.
Fantastic. I think that's a great way to end off our conversation, Kallie, because you're speaking there about building and bringing communities together and standing up against the failed state, which is a common theme on this show, and many guests that I have on the show also tell the viewers, don't wait for government to do anything. Many people have been waiting for 25 years for the government to do something and nothing's come of it. So it's time to mobilize the community and take care of ourselves. Kallie, before we leave, I want to thank you for coming onto the show and talking with me and giving me your time as well. I'll gladly have you back in the next few months. Hopefully we can get some more updates on all the cases and talk some more about what Afriforum is up to. But in the meantime, Kallie, why don't you tell people where they can find you, and if there's anything else you want to mention before we go off air, now's your chance.
Yeah, no, thank you. We would invite people to visit our website. It's afriforum.co.za. I'm also on social media, but my children say I'm not that good at it. I thought they would be impressed when I moved also to Instagram, but I am there. I'm on Facebook and Twitter. But of course, I think it's more important for people to follow Afriforum on Afriforum's Facebook page or Twitter page. And the reason being for that is, if you look at political parties, they normally have one face of a leader on which they try and mobilize votes. But from Afriforum side, we put in quite a lot of hard work to have many spokespeople. And you will know people like Ernst van Zyl, Ernst Roots, Rainer Dievenhagen, Mortney Taute, Alana Bailey, Barry Bateman. So it's important for us to have a big base. And of course, if a bus runs only tomorrow, the organization will be fine. And I think that is how we build such sustainability. But Joe, I also want to thank you and for the opportunity. I've now used up all my English vocabulary. so I'm glad that you're saying the time is running.
No worries. But very quickly, someone asked a question. They wanted to know if there's any plans to open a private hospital called Forum Med. Might be a good idea.
Yeah. Well, I see it's Richard Lemmer. Well, Richard, if you have funders, there is always something that we can have a look at. But I love the name, but of course there are also other people that are already in that space. But I think there's a lot of opportunities in terms of we, for instance, have forum security, which is not a medical or a hospital, but it's a private security company, but on a non-profit basis. We believe that it can play a role in security there. But I see Ronaldo saying something, but I couldn't read that fast.
Ronaldo is saying, is Kallie wearing pants this time around, with a smiley face?
No, it seems like he thinks he caught me with my pants down sometime. That's not true.
Okay. All right, Kallie. Once again, thank you so much for joining me tonight. It was a huge pleasure, and like I said, you're welcome back anytime. And I'm sure we'll stay in touch. Thanks so much.
Okay, have a great evening.
You too, Kallie. Cheers. All right, ladies and gentlemen. Well, that was Kallie Kriel, the CEO of Afriforum, joining me tonight. A little bit of an audio problem. Hopefully, next time when I have him on the show, we will sort that out. But it was still a great conversation. You could still listen to 99% of what he was saying. At least I could hear him. So yeah, ladies and gentlemen, thank you guys so much for watching. I'll be back Thursday for another edition of the Joe Emilio Show, where I will be having the comedians back, and we'll be talking about a lot of things, as well as roasting some headlines and TikTok videos. It's always a lot of fun and a great way to end off the week. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you guys so much for watching. Thank you for all the super chats, or Sasa chats as we call them on the show. Thank you to everybody who watched. It was greatly appreciated. Thank you for all the questions. I'm sorry that I didn't get to most of them, but next time I have Kallie on, I'm sure we'll get to some of the questions. Ronaldo saying he was on my stream last year and he had super shorts on. Shame. He is an Afrikaner, so what do you expect? But anyway, thank you, Ronaldo, for tuning in and giving us a chuckle. But yeah, ladies and gentlemen, thank you guys so much for tuning in. Don't forget to support my fight against cancel culture. Link is in the description. If you're watching this after the fact, link is in the description. And also, you can give a super thanks, but I'd prefer a donation to the Cancel Culture Fund. It'd be greatly appreciated. Other than that, ladies and gentlemen, stay safe, be kind to one another, and I'll see you at the next one. Cheers.